Welcome back, everybody. This is Brainstorm Brewery, the one and only Magic podcast where you can find both some financial experts like DJJ, also known as Douglas Johnson, and myself, as well as the special guest this week, the mayor of Flavortown, but an even more special guest, our listener and patron, Eric. Welcome to the show, everybody. Eric, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing fine this night.
Well, I gave you top billing there over the mayor of Flavortown because you know what, frankly, that's just how it should be. So
Fury's not even wearing his flame shirt. He's not even wearing the flame shirt.
It's dirty. You have to wear it every day.
This is like our big. This could be our big video debut. We're test recording this at the very least for our editor. We'll see if it actually makes it onto YouTube or not. But all of that. And Jason can't even wear a Flavortown shirt.
Everyone's going to see how much I have to drink to get through one of these fucking episodes.
It's just embarrassing, man.
You're embarrassing.
That's it. Everyone's going to have to see how much you drink. That's the issue.
Yeah, I don't...
This is what I paid for. I paid for Jason to wear that shirt. So
That's right.
Do you want me to go get it? Do you want to pause... Do you want to pause the podcast?
Yeah, of course. No, we don't want to pause the show, but we do want you to go get it.
You'll talk about shit I want to talk about, and then I'll come back and have to listen to you talk about that stupid humans deck for 20 minutes.
Okay, great. We'll talk about that while you're gone.
Would you?
Go get your shirt. Yeah, go get your shirt.
I don't believe you.
Go get your shirt, man.
Oh, God, you guys are such pieces of garbage. All right, fine, but I'm taking my beer with me.
All right, we're definitely not.
He actually went and got the shirt.
Like, we're definitely not going to talk about that while he goes and gets his shirt, are we?
Oh no.
Yeah. Okay. Didn't think so. Anyways, Eric. So, man, what's your deal? Tell us how you came to arrive on our podcast.
Well, I been playing Magic for a while. 94 is when I started, and 97 I opened a card shop in my parents' video store. So for DJ.
Oh, wow.
That's a place where people used to go rent movies.
What's a movie?
And I did that for 4 years. When I left the card shop, I basically had a full set of power, quite a bit of dual lands, and I basically just got out of Magic right around the time of Odyssey Block. And for a better part of a decade, I was out.
Wow, so you've been doing this longer than any of us, and we're like the people who pretend we know what we're talking about every week.
Well, you guys went back in the old days. Part of it was completely different than what it is now.
What were some of the biggest differences?
You would get a Scry magazine. You get a Scry magazine that would have prices from basically 6 to 8 weeks ago, and you would try to guess where the price of the value of the card was. And so a new magazine would come out, then you'd quickly adjust your prices, but there wasn't a constant price feedback.
That sounds like fun.
It wasn't.
The true Wild West, where you had to be good at this and not just look cards up like the rest of us.
But with the 4 years I ran my store, I basically built up enough of a personal collection, because I was working as an electrician at the time as well.
Okay.
So that was my career. The store was a hobby, and when I left the store, I basically had, a pile of cards that just sat there. A couple of years after I got married, we went and bought a house, so my power went away, and it became down payment to a house.
Ah, wow. Good use for Magic cards.
It's a good use for Magic cards. I got hurt at work, and I was off work for about 3 months, and that's when I got back into Magic, and that was right about Dragon Maze Modern Masters 1 coming out.
Right.
And been back in it ever since, and doing, halfway decent with it. Trying not to spend a large amount of money because, wife, 3 kids. But since I've been back in, we bought a camper trailer, and I did that with Magic cards, but that was a lot of the older cards I had. To put in perspective, I think when I sold out of picked my Tempest stuff, I was 36, 37 Wastelands, back when they were about $65, $70 a piece.
Okay.
And that went towards a camper trailer.
Okay, well, that's the dream right there, right?
So And that's the personal cards I have. I probably have still 150, 200,000 cards that I've been slowly picking through, pulling things out. I was looking for invasion ops, and my invasion cards were right next to the prophecy cards, and so I pulled 10 Ristic Studies out of the box while I was looking for invasion ops. So
it's pretty intense, man. I won't lie.
So you're good at this accidentally, is what it sounds like.
I'm good at it in the sense that when you have a lot of cards, picking cards is sort of easy with that part of it. And if you take a 10, 12-year break out of it, everything you had kept in good condition, just luckily it goes up. So
yeah, that's the advice we generally give our listeners, is to stop playing Magic for like a decade and then wait for the profits
if you
to roll
could
in.
end up in a coma and then wake up with your current collection.
That's but sort of like a state-funded coma, so that you're not accruing costs in the meantime.
What's a state-funded coma?
Well, that's a great question, Jason. And I think you'll find that the answer is a coma where your injury is a result of something the state has done to you, maybe like a sort of an injury while you're in the military, or where a cop car hits you.
I don't think I want Oklahoma having a state military.
Okay, man. So you really this is where you pretend you don't know what the word state means? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Can you guys even tell that this shirt has flames on it?
Oh, I kind of forgot you had left to get it, actually.
Here. I can feel the heat from here.
Like the collars, all the flames are at the bottom of the shirt. The only thing the shirt's really doing right now is disguising from my webcam the fact that I'm naked from the waist down.
I legitimately forgot that you went to go get the shirt and that you came back. That was fast. Good job.
Yeah, well, if you had a nickel for every time someone told you that was fast, good job, you'd have one kid.
Correct. Anyways,
speaking of which, not that anybody asked, but no, it hasn't been easy to get my wife pregnant now that I look like Guy Fieri. She's not. She's like, now's a good time to try for a second kid. And I'm like, it's probably not happening because you can't look me in the face. So.
I don't understand what that has to do with anything.
Some of us don't get our wives pregnant doggy style, Corbin.
Wow.
We don't mush our wife's face in a pillow.
Do you remember when I was trying to get us a sponsorship by a nice corporate sponsor, and now that's just
Squatty
out there
Potty,
forever?
Dude, I read their AMA. They would love me. They would hire me to write their commercials. So, Squatty Potty, sponsor us.
Yeah, in case anybody is curious, it is true. I sent the message to Squatty Potty when they did an AMA on Reddit, because they've been advertising with podcasters, and you know what? They sounded pretty excited for the opportunity.
They said they want $1.20 back for every dollar they put in.
Right. So we're not going to preemptively show, because you shouldn't buy a Squatty Potty until they are a sponsor. Yeah, but we'll let you know.
They're great.
We'll let you know when the time comes.
I still didn't hear of this until you guys started talking about it in our chat.
Okay, how about every episode? Here's what I'll say. When my wife and I have been doing it in the butt and she needs to get things moving again,
good Lord.
It really helps. It really helps
to
get her feet up.
That's enough. Get this out of here. What are you doing? You're just an embarrassment.
I'm an embarrassment? You're the one setting us up with poop mongers. I'm just going with it. I think it's a great idea. I wanted B-Dubs to sponsor us, and you're just like, ew, paperwork, ew. So it never happened.
That's not exactly. Did you call them poop mongers?
So is the poop mongers the Squatty Potty or the B-Dubs?
I don't understand any of this conversation.
Calling B-Dubs poop mongers is just so kind, is what it is.
None of this conversation is good. This is terrible.
This is good. This is why people. You think that people listen for finance advice?
Eric, is this why you wanted to be on the podcast so you could listen to us talk about this?
Say yes.
Well, that's part of it's to, listen to you guys talk about finance, but most of it's listen to you guys pick on each other. So
no one gives a shit about our pick of the week. They could read that off the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet that you have access to if you give us $20 more a month at patreon.com/Brainstorm Brewery.
Wait. What did you say the value was that they had to?
20.
You got it wrong last week, too.
Is it not 20 for the spreadsheet? It should be 20 for the spread. If you're gonna not listen to our podcast, you better give us the most money.
It's 10.
Okay, wow. Okay, so even cheaper. For $10 a month, which is like $2 to $2.50 per episode, you can have access to a spreadsheet where we track our picks of the week and the other thing we do. What's that shitty DJ inspired one with the bulk? That we only do because of him. We track those so you can not only see what they are over time to see how we're doing. We also populate it the night we record, so you get access
populate
to
it.
We have our underling do it the night we record, so that
we have breaking bulk so that we can show how bad Corbin is at knowing older cards.
Why are you interrupting my pitch? You complain about how long it takes, and then you make it take longer by.
I've never complained about how long your pitch takes.
That's a good point. Yeah, keep fucking interrupting me. That's good. Let's make this pitch take forever. As I was saying, for as little as 20 to 25 cents an episode, you can have access to our Discord server where our guest likes to hang out with us and disagree with Corbin, and Corbin's like, "Oh, I hate this guy. I can't believe
my opponent just played Hostage Taker. This is unfair."
Why are you still playing Magic?
Well, look, man. Sometimes you start a game.
Corbin, is Hostage Taker a human?
It is.
Don't try to segue. Don't. If you're gonna segue out of my pitch,
Jason,
can it be into something I want to talk about?
We talked about it while you were gone. It's
Did
fine.
you?
We talked about it while you were gone.
I like that deck, by the way. Can I
what
just
deck?
say
the deck we talked about while you were gone?
The 5-color humans deck? Did you guys talk about that?
Of course we did. We said we were.
Yeah, did you?
Why wouldn't we?
Because you're a monster and you hate when I'm happy. I just didn't want to talk about a constructed format.
I don't hate when you're happy. I just don't think you deserve to be happy. There's a difference.
By the way, if we could get another sponsor, Founders, I'm drinking your all-day IPA despite it being a 4.75% can of just piss water, frankly. I don't drink anything less than 9%, but I am drinking your all-day IPA because I bought it to, for my friends when they helped me move, and they didn't drink any of it. They drank all the Bells Two-Hearted, though, so get on that. Make a better beer. Please sponsor us, Founders. I actually like Founders. I'm sorry.
I lost the match. I quit Magic forever.
What are you guys drinking? What are you drinking down in Oklahoma?
Well, in my fridge, I currently have some Bud Light Lime.
Oh, good Lord.
That's the Corbin Hostler of beers.
No, I actually have, I don't know, I have a bunch of fancy stuff. I don't have it in front of me.
A bunch of fancy stuff.
Yeah, we got like one of those things.
What's fancy to you?
No, there was like a beer camp thing where they I'm sure it's some craft beer thing where they get together and they make a bunch of beer recipes or something, and then it gets sold as a package at Marianne's favorite liquor store. So she got it for me as a gift. So I have a bunch of very, very different kinds of beers, like one by a bunch of different small breweries sitting in my fridge right now. I guess this is a video podcast. I could just go get one and drink it and show you guys.
Would that kill you?
It's going to be funny when this doesn't happen, when we've messed up and the editor has no video and we made you go get your shirt and I'm going to go get a beer. And
you can make me get my shirt next week. It's fine.
Our viewers/listeners will be able to see me playing Pokemon Sapphire on the Game Boy Advance.
Really?
Yep.
Come on, man. At least do it off camera.
Can't you just drink and play video games later?
He has no responsibilities. He's 12 years old.
Oh, you're not old enough to drink? Shit, I shouldn't bring that up. I'm sorry.
22. Born in 94.
Ew. All right, moving on. We can't actually talk about this deck.
Did you say wee-wee?
Wee-wee. Wee-wee.
He just said yes, dude. In French, come on.
I'm going to France in a month. I have to.
Oh my god, you're going to embarrass us. The Italians are like, yeah, we need your tourist dollars. But the French are like, go die in a fire, Imperial pig dog. They're not going to like you at all. They're going to steal your wallet and grope your wife.
Well, Marianne's not going. I'm going for work. But I'm Canadian.
You're not taking your wife?
She doesn't have any more vacation time.
That's brutal.
She used her vacation. Well, she doesn't. I mean, I'm going to be working Magic 6 of the 9 days I'm
Yeah,
there.
and all
so.
the French dudes can work their magic on her while she's doing tourist stuff.
Good point. Anyways, she's not going. But I'm Canadian now, not American, so.
I thought you were Canadian and American.
I guess these colors do run.
America doesn't represent dual citizenship like Canada does. So when I'm in America, I am not dual citizen, but when I'm outside of America, I am.
You have Canadian citizenship?
Well, I'm in the process of it.
What does it even mean?
Well, there's like paperwork and stuff.
Yeah, but why would they
Like,
want you at this point? They saw how
because
you
I'm
turned out.
Canadian.
Like when you were a kid, they'd be like, he's got potential, but now they're like, no, this is what we get.
I don't know, man. It is what it is.
I know, it is what it is. That's the problem.
What
it
Look,
is
I'm going to get
the
in
problem.
by a loophole in the law. It's perfect. The trick, by the way, is that I'm adopted by a Canadian, so I qualify for a first-generation exemption. So I'm in.
Nobody knows what any of that, because as soon as someone gets American citizenship, they're like, oh, we won the global dice roll.
Something like that. So Eric, let's talk a little Magic. You said you were a fan of the Modern Open last week, the deck that did well. So were you able to watch much of that event?
I was first weekend I had off, and 3 or 4 weeks of work, and so
nice.
I was actually spending it with my family. But I was keeping an eye on coverage as far as deck lists as they were getting posted. I'd watched the deck tech that came out, and yeah, this deck is pretty intriguing. It's basically some of the best stuff that's out there in Modern. I do like where they're going with it.
So do you play Modern? Because we've had one Legacy Elitist on our podcast. We've had one Filthy EDH Casual. So where do you fit into the mix?
I'm when I get back into Magic, Modern really intrigued me because it was a lot of cards that I had never seen before. So I am a Modern player.
Yeah, good decision.
I play Jund right now. And I went through the full gamut of I started with Storm. I moved into Birthing Pod. They banned Pod.
Yeah, Birthing Pod.
Sorry, friend.
You can play Yisan the Wanderer Bard, and you can play Court of Calling. Quit being a quitter.
And then I went into Jund at that point, and I've been there for about 2.5 years.
Sounds like
so
the format.
Are you on the Death's Color or Death Shadow version of Jund now, or?
I have the stuff to do Death Shadow. I am currently not. I'm basically just in the good stuff Jund, Lilies and Goyf, and try to make
traditional Jund.
Yeah. So, but
yeah, I think that may be coming into flavor a little more, because it has an okay Storm matchup, right, with all the discard, or is it not good?
With the Stormy, you can discard the stuff, but you just help them. So you have to be able to keep the pressure on them too.
Right.
Storm is an issue, but I guess Playland of the Void is potentially an answer to it.
Right.
So.
Well, yeah, I was just curious because it seems like a lot of fair decks are sort of making their way back into Modern. The big mana decks are kind of being hated out. From the top 32 at the SCG last weekend, there's not a lot of Tron in there, and there's not a lot of Eldrazi Tron in there. It's a lot of really kind of fair mid-rangey decks or aggro decks or Death Shadow, or there's a bunch of Storm as well right now. So Storm seems to be the big combo deck. But let's talk about the deck that won. Collins Mullen lost one match all weekend long playing 5-color humans.
Did you lie to me?
What?
About talking about this deck while I was gone? Did you lie?
No. We wouldn't do that.
DJ?
We wouldn't do that.
But I said you would do that as I was leaving.
Jason, we wouldn't do that to you, friend. We're simply going to discuss it again so that you have an opportunity to participate.
Yeah, because you said you love the deck, so we were trying to.
So what about that foot boot freejacker or whatever that dude is? Freeboot footjacker? Yeah, footjacker.
We'll go over this one more time just so Jason can participate. But the deck is pretty sweet. It takes
Well, they already
big
know,
advantage.
Corbin. You don't need to belabor it.
Well, we got
The fact that the deck has nothing but creatures and Aether Vials, which is amazing.
Yeah, for Jason's benefit, it has 4 unclaimed territory, 4 ancient ziggurat, 4 cavernous souls. So it has 12 ways to make any color of mana for creatures, and specifically human creatures. So it's a bunch of really sweet ones. The new Ixalan creature in the mix is Kiteself Freebooter, which is the Duress, stable to a 1/2 flyer for 2 that they get the card back if it dies.
What did I call it? Footjacker?
Something
I
like
was so close.
Fire Footjacker? I don't know.
Is that Freudian? That's where I went. That's Freudian, right?
Anyway, so the deck can get super aggressive with Champion of the Parish and Thalia's Lieutenant sort of stuff, but it also has a whole bunch of disruption packed into creatures, right? Thalia, Guardian of the Raven, taxes people. Thalia, Heretic Cathar messes up their lands and their creatures. 4 meddling mages in the main deck to keep them from casting spells. Of course, the freebooter to take their stuff away, and 3 reflector mages to bounce all their stuff. So it's got a lot going for it. It's actually really sweet. And then the sideboard is a bunch of things you might not have realized were humans, like Aethersworn Canonist, the
Aethersworn Canonist is a human? It's made out of metal.
It is made out of
Master
made out of
Transmuter's
Ethereum.
Too. Like it's
fair.
it's part person.
No. Master of Ethereum I know is human because it's just got like a metal arm like Cable from the X-Men.
Master of Ethereum or not Master of Ethereum. Master Transmuter. Master Transmuter is part human, but it's like a head and an arm, and then the rest of it's metal.
What, like RoboCop? But like the shitty RoboCop, like the reboot one, that was
Aethersworn Canonist looks to be made almost entirely of Ethereum and not human parts.
So how's it human?
I don't know, man.
Oh, if it's got human genitals, then it's like human.
Well, that's a good point, I guess.
Who drew that card? Who drew the card?
It's a human cleric. Also a human is it Staticaster, and Tireless Tracker, and Vithian Renegades, and Zathrid Necromancer. So those actually give you a lot of play in different matchups. And it's kind of cool, right?
Easy.
It's a lot of different stuff that all turn out to be humans and all work in this deck that, even though it has 4 Aether Vials and nothing else in terms of non-creature spells, has a surprising amount of interaction. It even has Anafinsa the Foremost in the sideboard to board in against Dredge.
Have you guys heard of Izzy?
From Digimon?
No, the magic artist.
Yeah.
His name's Izzy. He drew 131 magic cards, including cards I like, such as a Johnny Vengeant, Shiram the Hegemon, Shardless Agent, and Blue Sun Zenith. Well, he did Riku also? Man, this guy's prolific. I gotta write Izzy an email and ask if
Where is this coming from? Why are we talking about this?
I want to know if Aethersworn Canonist has human genitals, and now I gotta write Izzy an email.
Okay.
Should I write to him, or should I write to the guy from the art department who sent out the booklet with the style for the blog?
I think you should send it to both.
Yeah, cover your bases.
Yeah.
Should I tag the official WotC Twitter account?
Probs not.
Oh, that's a good point. I actually am thinking about trying to get a job writing flavor text, so maybe I should do that.
Maybe you shouldn't say anything you ever say ever.
Hey, you know what? That's the kind of thing I need to know a lot about the lore if I'm going to write flavor text. Because you know how they do that flavor text added thing? Here's mine for Aethersworn Canonist. What if it had a human dick?
It's a woman.
What if it had a human dick?
I will read you the actual flavor text of this card.
Oh, it has flavor text already? I would have to add the second.
The noble, what is this work? Okay, the noble work of our order is to infuse all life on Esper with Ethereum. Our goal will be reached more rapidly if new life is ... suppressed.
And then a second flavor text underneath is like, this dick is human and it's spectacular.
Okay. All right, man. Anyways, this deck is awesome. It's pretty cool. I don't know. Eric, you think this deck is gonna stick around, or is it a fluke? Or
why are you
what's your
asking
take
him?
on that?
He plays Jund.
Yeah, he probably has a good take. If he plays Jund, he plays a hell of a lot more modern than you do, so I want to hear his opinion.
He lacks an imagination. Neither one of us has a good opinion.
Eric, what do you think?
This has potential to stick around for a bit. Looking at, I would have a hard matchup against this with my Jund deck simply because it just keeps throwing up creatures and creatures and creatures.
Yeah.
But don't you have removal for days? Can't you just get rid of the annoying shit and just leave them with a bunch of dirtily crap? Like, you just start picking their hand apart, and then they're playing Champion of the Parish, and you just smash into it with a...
So the Meddling Mage by Lightning Bolt and Meddling Mage, your removal,
or
hit a couple,
Kitesail Freebooter
Yep.
one of them, and
you
Or
free
just
boot a
cast
card
Thalia.
away, Meddling Mage to stop another one. Thalia locks down your creatures. It has the potential just to make a very tough matchup, and then you wipe the board, and the Necromancer brings a bunch of zombies back to fight against you.
Well, yeah. Also, Thalia.
it has
Heretic
Zathra Necromancer too. That's brutal.
In the sideboard,
in the sideboard. When I was playing matches, because I actually recorded late in the weekend, so I have matches up on this now at TCG Player and on YouTube. We just look for Mining Modern 5-color humans, and you can find it. But I very skillfully drew both Sacred Necromancers the turn after my opponent casts his Supreme Verdict. It was pretty fun. But the card's really sweet in general against Verdict, especially because you can vial it in response to the Verdict, and it's like, yeah, they killed 4 of your creatures, but now you're swinging back with 8 power immediately and killing them. Anger of the Gods is the problem, but it's really difficult to resolve Anger of the Gods against 4 Kitesail Freebooters, 4 Thalias, 4
Meddling
Meddling
Mages.
8
Mages.
Thalias, right?
Well, it's
I
2
don't
of the
think it's
3-drop
4
and 4 of the 2-drop. But the 2-drop is a good one that taxes you.
See, and they can, in response to your anger, they could reflect or mage one of their own creatures out and then turn around.
No,
and
Reflector Mage
Reflector
only
Mage
targets
opponent's
opponent.
creatures.
Opponent.
Yeah.
I thought this guy played Modern.
No. Yeah, because Reflector Mage
Yeah,
is such a modern card,
Because, well, it was in the
It's rare.
Collector Company deck, but
Yeah,
it's
It's
rare.
uncommon. Jesus, Corbin.
Oh,
I got you good, you fucker.
Also, imagine like Tireless Tracker against Jund. You're like, kill their first 3 things, and they're just like, play Tireless Tracker, play a fetch land, go.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a thing.
All right. Cool. This
anyways,
is,
yeah, the
it's
deck-
good,
the
man. I
deck's
like
gonna
playing
stick
shit
out.
like this. I once played a deck with like no instants or sorceries because it was like 3 of Johnny's, 2 Elspeths, and then just a bunch of Naya creatures, and it was really good. Who needs Path to Exile when you can just jump over their blockers? That was a good time. So you don't
Speaking
need
of,
instants or sorceries, even in Modern.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of ignoring blockers, did you guys see that Infect made a return?
I saw that top 8'd.
Yeah, Infect top 8'd. It's interesting. There's 2 Distortion Strikes in the main deck that they kind of, something like Twisted Image and Distortion Strike kind of are what this deck chose to use instead of Get Probe. There's fewer Become Immense. But yeah, Infect's kind of making its way back into the metagame. Maybe all those Blighted Agents and Glittercenter Elves that DJ and I have put away will finally pay off.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you think I don't pick those? That's really aggressive.
I just do you I don't know. DJ and I have specifically had conversations on this podcast about how many of them we have. I just wonder where you did as well.
I got Groundswells, man. I've even got Invigorates for when that makes a comeback in Legacy.
Yeah. Also, I will point out that for the second straight week, Blue-Green Merfolk top 8 at a tournament. Last week it was the Classic. This week it was the Open. It got 4th place.
And that was a good episode of Brainstorm Brewery. Thanks for listening, everybody.
I got it in there. That's fine.
I'm gonna go
Kill it
wash
if you
my
want.
mouth
We got
out
it
with
in
hair
there.
bleach now because I have some left over. Goodbye forever. I even like Merfolk. I was mad along with you during #3Merfolk, but
Or
you've
Merfolk.
taken it to such an extreme.
Look, man, I even waited. It was the last deck I pitched here. So my favorite part is that when I played this the week after Ixalan came out and recorded videos with it, all the comments were, "Why aren't you playing Collected Company? You're so bad." One of my favorite one was, "Do you just like to play the shittiest versions of decks possible?"
What was that guy's name?
Do you?
It was a YouTube comment, man.
What was his name? I don't believe you don't remember.
I do not know. I did notice. I did see it though, and I will point out that I am being proven right that no Collected Companies in Merfolk is the right way to go here.
Oh,
And that
can I
Branch
just
Walker
point
and
out that if
Speaker
you
are
write a
plentiful.
shitty comment on a website I write for, we know your IP address. So,
Jason will send you Anthrax. Watch out.
I mean, Anthrax, that's... I don't have Anthrax money in my Mayhem budget. I'm doing this all shoestring, so maybe I'll send you dick pics, but like of your own dick. And you'll be like, whoa, how did he get those? And you won't know.
All right. Anyways, let's break bulk. Everyone got a breaking bulk pick ready to go?
No! Breaking bulk time, breaking bulk time.
Breaking bulk time, something.
I got two good ones.
I got a good one. Eric, are you going to jump in on this segment or no?
I have.
No pressure. All right, awesome.
Let's remember that time you shut him down? That was really funny to me.
Let's let the guests go first. Eric, why don't you go ahead?
Mercadian Mask's common. This is pretty easy.
Don't know.
What color?
Blue.
Oh, is it
Soothsaying.
Rashad Cut Purse?
What?
Rashad Cut Purse? You said it's a common, right?
Yeah, it's a common. No.
Oh, Soothsaying's uncommon.
Yeah.
DJ's bad at this.
Is it Gush?
I thought he was making a joke about Popeye Stompy.
He might have been. It's a blue common for Mercadian Masks. Is it diplomatic immunity?
Nope.
No. Shit.
Is it Brainstorm?
It's not Brainstorm either.
I said it's a common.
Brainstorm is common in a Mercadian Mask, you stupid idiot. I'm stumped, man. I thought for sure I would nail it with diplomatic immunity.
Straight up counterspell.
Oh. I was on the right track with Brainstorm.
Were you?
Every printing that it's had has been over $1 right now, retail.
Including Ice Age, that ugly ass Ice Age.
Even the Ice Age one is over $1.
Wow.
There's some good picks in this set. I'm looking at this set right now. Who knew?
I found some coastal piracies today.
Did you know that Soothsaying is worth $3?
Yeah,
I knew that.
And that Spider Silk armor is worth $1.50.
I knew that.
I didn't.
Pauper.
Well, yeah, because your Spider Silk armor is more of a casual card.
Yeah,
it's not Pauper.
Like I've actually
it's not Pauper. Well, if you can prove probably that it's not a paper Pauper pick, then I will concede. But otherwise, you should apologize for implying it's not a paper Pauper pick.
All right, next guest, you're up, DJ.
I've got two.
Well, that's called cheating.
Well, give me one of them.
It's called being an overachiever.
It's called cheating, but okay.
I have a rare from Alliances, and it's an artifact.
Is it Lodestone Bauble?
Yep.
Too easy.
You didn't give Corbin time to be wrong about that one.
That's true. I should have let him.
Please, I clearly knew it.
Corbin,
I obviously knew it. Now let me look up what that card is.
Lodestone Bauble is a 0-mana artifact, and you can pay 1 and tap it and sacrifice it to put up to 4 basic lands from any player's graveyard on top of his or her library in any order. That player draws a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. So it's mostly just for Legacy Bomberman. It's like another Bauble where you just play a bunch of card draw effects and then kill them with
draw a card at the beginning of next turn's upkeep.
Why did this card just spike?
Every Bauble went up. It was really weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a Jewel Amulet, Shield Sphere, Urza's Bauble, like it's part of like a weird legacy deck with like Auriok Salvagers and.
Yeah, well that's Bomberman, but that's been a deck forever.
That's been forever, and I've never actually seen it do well in the past like 5 years. So I don't know if that accounts for it spiking 2 months ago. Did it just get caught up and is it reserve list or something stupid?
I mean, it's a rare from Alliances.
So yeah, I think it is on the reserve list.
Yeah.
That's probably what it is. It probably just got caught up in the reserve list buyouts.
Hey, did you guys know that the playtesting name of that card is Gushta's Plow?
What?
That's literally true. I read that in Duelist magazine in 1997.
God,
why?
DJ wasn't even born then.
Because Duelist magazine had a promotion back then. If you went through.
Why is that? Like, do you have additional info on why that's the playtest name?
Well, there was Gushta was going to be a dude, I guess, but then they ended up. It doesn't look all bobbly. It's like the guy with like an arrow.
It's actually sweet. I'm looking at the art. This guy's like making an arrow levitate or something
it's
with
like
snow.
It's like land. It's more of a landy. I don't know, man. I just know
weird
that it's
looking
called
art.
Gushta's Plow. I don't know what episode or what issue of Duelist was. I just know that I read Duelist magazine and I wanted to write for Duelist magazine when I was a kid, and now I write for the internet. And I didn't anticipate the internet. I was like, I'm going to prove that I'm the very best, and then they're going to hire me. And they're like, nope, everyone gets hired somewhere. You don't even have to be smart. Like, you can make a whole brand out of just being bad and misplaying and being dumb. So, Lodestone Bauble is on the reserve list, by the way. Holy shit, there are a lot of Alliances cards, including Ashnod, Silex, Chaos Harlequin, Lord of Tressorhorn, in case you were wondering. Misfortune. They definitely nailed Misfortune, which is a card you don't even know what it does.
That's true.
It's a Jund-colored sorcery, so they were really thorough when it came to Alliances.
All right. I got another one.
No.
That one was too easy. No, it was too easy. And
I did nail it in half a second. And
Corbin,
plus I knew its playtest name.
It is the most expensive uncommon in Exodus.
Exodus, the most expensive uncommon?
Correct.
It's that giant whale.
Nope.
The killer whale that's like a 4/5 and you can give it flying and +1, -1?
Nope.
No? Really?
Nope.
The most expensive uncommon in Exodus.
I don't know what's
What color is it? What color is it?
White. I might give it away.
Reconnaissance.
Guys.
Yeah, they give it away.
Reconnaissance. Guys, I know what the set symbol looks like for that set.
Hey Corbin, why is Reconnaissance expensive?
Pauper.
No, it's not legal in Pauper, you stupid asshole. I'm sorry for yelling. No, it's like decks like Narset, when you want to attack and then you remove your creature from combat when you get its attack trigger, but like you don't want it being blocked and killed. Yeah, Reconnaissance.
Yeah, you can play it in you can play it in Alesha and stuff like that, where you don't want to just run your creature into a suicide mission, and you can also just do weird tricks with it. It gives a lot of your creatures pseudo vigilance because you can untap them after they've dealt damage.
Oh, like Knight of the Reliquary and Maze of Ith.
Yeah. So you can attack with your squad, and then after combat damage, while you're still in the combat step, you can untap all your creatures.
This is actually an interesting card because it was like literal bulk up until basically the beginning of 2015, and then it spiked. Yeah, is that when? That's what I was going to ask. What got printed around there?
Yeah,
2015 was Narset.
Yeah, because it's right there with Dragons of Tarkir is when it started climbing. Favor Forged, I guess.
Yeah, isn't that cool how EDH can move old stuff?
Who would have guessed?
Who would have built their brand around it? So yeah, sorry that you had to give me the color, because like the only other notable white uncommon from Exodus I want to say is that thing where you discard a card and gain 3 life or whatever, and that ended up getting reprinted in like
Peace of Mind.
Peace of Mind, yeah, that got reprinted I think.
All right, I've got this one is on the edge of being a pick, but it is most certainly one that I have seen as a pick in the past, and I would not be surprised to see it get there again. It's a little bit topical. It is a green uncommon from Mirrodin Besieged.
It's almost a pick.
What's Mirrodin Besieged?
Well, I think it's definitely a pick for you, DJ.
Yeah, because you picked 3.5-cent cards to ship to Thomas.
Sure.
So it's definitely a pick for you, but I'm saying it's been a pick for me in the past, which means 15, 20 cents.
Mirrodin Besieged uncommon.
Green.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that set symbol looks like.
Someone else is bad at this? What?
You know,
I don't know how to explain it to you. It's a circle-ish thing like all the others.
It's the Mirrodin and the Phyrexian set symbols combined.
Oh.
Yeah, that.
Green uncommon? I don't know, man. I can't. Is it? No, that's New Phyrexia. I keep thinking New Phyrexia cards.
What do you got, DJ? Anything?
I'm thinking.
All right, good.
Not
you
Googling.
guys are bad at this too.
I'm not gonna cheat.
I'm not cheating either.
I don't want to give it away by
I didn't say
saying
you were.
This set does not have good picks, by the way. Go for the Throat is $2.
Is it Viridian Corruptor? No, that's No, that's not New Phyrexia.
It is Viridian Corruptor.
Yeah.
Oh, it's because it's alright. Because
I knew it would be an infect creature.
Yeah.
Did you? Well, if you said it was an infect creature, I would have figured it out. Because there's only like one or
that's
two.
That's why I didn't want to say it, because there are very
No,
few.
I'm saying if DJ had helped me out, because like there's.
It's the 3-drop 2/2 with Infect that when it comes in play destroy target artifact. So the Infect deck that did well last weekend, that top aided the SCG Open, ran one in the main deck, and you see it, either in the sideboards or occasionally main decks of Infect a lot because it is the destroy target Spellskite card. So it's
was
pretty
kind
important.
of it's kind of an EDH card too. I mean, Manglehorn took its place a little bit, but you can sometimes just get people with this if you have pump spells in your deck or whatever.
I mean,
Yeah, I
why
mean,
would
Like
you?
Kessig Wolf Run or something in your
You
commander
see it a
deck.
lot in the green-blue commander.
Azuri.
Brewery.
Yeah, you see it a lot in that because that deck is a lot of times infect-based.
Yeah, because you just.
It's also terrible.
That's a good pick. Yeah, I
was a good
still
one.
I don't know, like people are saying they don't even like Manglehorn. I'm like, dude, I fucking love Manglehorn.
Manglehorn's great. I
Card's really
play
underrated.
I love playing Kismet and what's the
Frozen
Ether.
Aether, the creatures that
Frozen
have
Ether is so good.
the
Blind
creatures
Obedience
that
is
have
really
that
good,
effect,
too.
yeah, like
Yeah, I play all of those in my Oloro
because
deck.
it's so annoying.
Yeah.
And, like
People think it's not
you
a big
stop
deal
so many
until they're-
combos. Like I lost.
Yeah.
I had the goblin plus the zealous conscripts combo in my hand, and I just
Right.
like couldn't win the game because all my shit would have come in and play tap.
Well, also people they're like, oh, whatever, that's probably not a big deal, and then they're like, play my fetch land. Oh crap. So yeah, it's pretty great. It messes up people blocking, which doesn't the deck I played in that doesn't matter. But it's just kind of generically good. I don't know. Eric, do you play much Commander?
I do a little bit. I've got I think 2 of them built right now. I play Atraxa, but I don't play it with the Infect, and I don't play it with the Planeswalkers. I pretty much focus on
man.
tokens.
Like Fair Atraxa?
Kind of fair Atraxa, kind of groups huggy. Just sit back and do lots of things, and then go nuts with all the token effects. So,
I like that approach. That's the fairest Atraxa I've ever heard of. Usually just a bunch of Planeswalkers.
yeah, well, it's fair, but it's not. I mean, when you got to use sticky notes for your tokens, and you're talking, when
Then
you're
your table has
exponential, when you're in exponential numbers for your tokens, it's
somebody
kind of
messed
crazy.
up.
It's not really fair.
What's your
Portman's
other?
talking about how like janky Super Friends commander decks are overpowered while he's playing like Oloro stacks.
It's not stacks. I just got tired of people ramping and comboing. So I just built a deck that has very few win conditions, but just aims to make everyone else play fair. And I play fun cards like Torpor Orb.
So stacks.
No. Stacks is generally like I'm not going to let you untap lands or whatever. And I don't play any of those super busted cards that are just like you're going to untap. I don't even know if Stasis is
So it's
legal,
short
but
stacks.
Sure. Yeah. Basically, I guess.
Oh shit!
It's like
I just realized that if I write short stacks in an EDH article, I can make that a thing. I
It
just
could
realized
very
that like, I
well
was
be a
like, man, I
thing.
wish I could make things a thing, and then I'm like, I can make things a thing. Short stacks.
Yeah, I
that's
mean, I
happening
don't
now.
want to. I'm not trying to just like make fast mana and combo people out. I just literally want. I got tired of losing to stupid Maelstrom Wanderer, so I built a deck that would punish it doing the things it does to an extent. I just enjoy playing like Torpor Orb and Grafdigger's Cage and watching people rage because they forgot to include interaction in their decks and now they can't beat these cards.
Do you guys mind if I take off these sunglasses? They're getting uncomfortable.
Just put them on the back of your head.
No commitment.
Man, that still doesn't.
Jason, give us your breaking bulk here.
It's a green uncommon from
Yeah, right there.
Ravnica.
Ravnica?
I think it's Ravnica.
Original Ravnica?
Yeah.
Perilous Forays.
Well, that's no fun.
Is it Perilous for that card?
Yeah, of course. Perilous Four is nuts.
That's I think I've played against this thing. It's like a
Sack a creature,
expensive
search your
enchantment,
library
right?
for a basic, put it in play tapped.
Yeah, I always stupid Omnath, the red green Omnath. Somebody always plays
Omnath,
this
yeah.
thing.
That's
It's good with Bloodghast too. I used to play it with Bloodghast and Savra.
It's just a good card. It's just if your creature's gonna die anyway, if you have any sort of triggers, if you got like Mazarek
Yeah.
and stuff like that, it's just a really just solid EDH card. And getting it out for 5 mana is sort of dear, but like man, you do so much.
You just need like
with it.
two. You can either just commit to it for 2 turns and go off, or you can just use it. It's like I said, it's dumb in Omnath because it's like you play Omnath and now every mana you have, you just ramp and then you can just replay Omnath a million times and everyone's gonna die to it.
Yeah,
I've
Prosh-
learned to be
Prosh
scared of
too.
It
those
turns every
fours.
mana into a lightning bolt.
Yeah, it's really nuts. It's $1.75 as well. Even it's like a great pick, not just a good.
It's never
pick.
hit a reprint, is why.
Where is it?
Oh, interesting! It actually
$1.75?
spiked. It actually spiked with Omnath.
Where's
Like
it
the spike, it went from a quarter to $2 at Battle for Zendikar, which is when Omnath was printed.
Yeah, I actually called that in an article because pay attention.
It's like you're good at this or something occasionally.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, EDH is easy mode. I almost feel bad taking credit for anything that I say that's obvious.
Have you ever felt bad for anything?
I feel bad for. Okay, so one winter I was driving.
Oh no!
Come on, it's not that bad. I just did something I feel bad. I was driving.
If it's something you feel bad about, man, you have to. All right.
Okay, so I was driving on an icy road and I lost control of the vehicle, but I wasn't speeding, I wasn't drinking. It was just like a freak accident. I hit black ice, and I hit a minivan going in the other lane, going the other direction, and they went off the road. And it was like a family of 4, and they all died.
Mm.
And I wasn't prosecuted or anything, but like someone in the family put a sign in my yard that said serial killer, which I thought was messed up. Because I kill those people in parallel, not in series.
He didn't deserve that laugh.
Yeah, that does better. That's you just not wanting to laugh. It's fine. Just pretend that wasn't fun to you. Just pretend I didn't brighten your day a little bit with a mathematics joke. That's fine. Really, our guess
is that what your stand-up comedy is? Is math jokes?
I mean,
not that I'm not all for that in theory.
That has worked on stage. I will say that. That's not my act, but it has worked on stage. I will say that. So that was the thing I felt bad about. I killed a bunch of people in parallel. So.
Okay, great. Wow. Okay.
I'm glad I set you up for that.
Aren't you?
I am.
I just want to say I tried to prevent this.
What have you done in the last 5 years to try to prevent that?
All right, well.
You could have stopped this at any time.
This is really Ryan's fault.
When I was like 4 episodes in, you could have been like, you know what, maybe not, but you didn't say anything. Or Marcel didn't listen, I guess.
Man, no, I think Ryan is to blame here.
Is that who
It's pretty easy to blame him for most things anyways, right? He is actually to blame for you, though.
Yeah, but Ryan has a disability, so you can't be throwing him under buses.
That's how he got the disability in the first place.
Yeah, that's true. Someone threw him under the bus super high.
I wondered if somebody was going to make that. It was like the lowest hanging of fruit, but DJ was right there.
Well, that's all the fruit Ryan can grab because he's disabled, so...
There's so many people listening to the podcast right now who probably picked us up like 30 episodes ago. They have no idea who we're talking about. They have no idea.
Ryan was on like less than 10 episodes ago.
Yeah, good point.
They probably skipped that because they were like, I don't know who this asshole is.
Ryan and Marcel sounds like terrible guests. That's how our fans all talk, by the way.
Yeah, I bet
they all have that accent.
What's your favorite Ryan nickname?
Phyrexian Can't Walker.
That's my favorite too. The thing is, his Twitter handle's actually good. It's great, but you have to give him credit for it, and that kind of makes it less good.
That's true.
For people who don't know, it's Cripple Command.
Which is just mwah. That's perfect.
Yeah, it is. It is very good. It is good. All right, let's move on.
They called him that at the LG. No, okay. As long as we're on the subject.
Ryan's story time always.
There were 2 Ryans. There was like another Ryan, and then there was Ryan Bouchard at the LGS. And instead of being like, hey, that's Ryan Bouchard, and that's other Ryan, they're like, oh, that's retarded Ryan, and that's crippled Ryan. And I was like, whoa, why can't you just go with initials? So, like, I was just, the first time I met him, I was at the LGS, and someone was like, hey, cripple, and I was like, what? And then he was like, hello! He answered to it, so I was like, all right, that's the way we do things here, so...
Ryan and I hung out a little bit at Nationals because it was 600 people in the tournament and nobody else in the entire room. And he was working a booth and he was like, this is the slowest show I've ever been to. And I'm here all weekend. Like, sorry, buddy.
That's your Ryan story?
Well, that was my most recent. That wasn't a Ryan story.
Your Ryan story was one time you were both at a tournament and he was working.
I literally was just saying I just saw him last week, and that's all the conversation was, man.
Why did you say that into a microphone?
Guy were in the same physical place.
Look, man, most of the Ryan stories can't be shared publicly anyways.
Accurate. All my best Ryan stories.
When I have to reach into the bag for a safer work Ryan story, you know, it's just not that much to choose from.
That's true.
I don't know. Eric, were you listening to the podcast back when we had Ryan on?
Oh, I've been listening for a while. And,
okay, great. What do you have a favorite?
I know Ryan quite a bit, so I
okay. Do you have a favorite Ryan moment from the podcast?
Him just falling asleep.
I knew you were going to say that. That's so good.
It's just you be sitting there and he's gone, but he's not.
That's so Ryan.
So.
It was really hard to know most of the time if he was just falling asleep or he just was like, F this and left. And we went, that happened multiple times and we never knew until the one show that it became abundantly clear what was going on.
Snoring
because he started snoring. Yeah. It was like, okay, well, guess that's what happens. He's not just bailing on us. He's trying.
I gotta go with Cookie Clicker. I think Cookie Clicker is my favorite.
Oh, God, they got me onto that stupid game, and I got every achievement. I got every single achievement. I left it running for like 4 days straight.
Cookie Clicker.
Never again.
We tried bringing that back with that kitty cat election game. Yeah.
No, man, I learned my lesson. I'm never, ever.
Oh, God, what was that called?
Cat President.
It was not called Cat President, but it was called Cat President. That was like 40 episodes ago, wasn't it? Jesus.
It was probably, maybe, I don't know. How many have you been on now, DJ?
Jesus, that was forever
almost
ago.
A year.
It's been a year?
It's been over a year. I started in like July or August.
Really?
Of 2016, yeah.
Wow. And you're still on the cast?
The cast still exists.
What would you say you contribute here? How are you still...
The cast is actually more regular now than it was. Now that you don't have to coordinate 4 people's schedules, it's so much easier to actually podcast than just have an excuse to skip a week.
Yep, you were a bracing shot of Metamucil that made this podcast more regular. Please sponsor us, Squatty Potty. So I think you really kept things.
I'm looking for this I'm ready now.
See, the thing about Squatty Potty is that it would be an incredible sponsorship. Not just because we're great and our listeners are great, but the thing about, and this is going to be my pitch to them, it's not just that, we have a highly intelligent audience that really can appreciate the health benefits of a Squatty Potty. It's that we have a value-focused audience, and they really, really care about, that added equity you get when you're pooping. So #poop finance is definitely a thing our listeners care about.
And they're big fat fucks full of meat and cheese. Also. Just big, just malnourished pieces of shit. Oh, I ate at Chipotle twice today. That was a mistake. That's our audience.
Never a mistake. That is never a mistake.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You must own a Squatty Potty if you don't think eating Chipotle twice in a day is a mistake. That's not going to come back to haunt you. You must get the mild salsa.
Pot.
So...
I get the hot salsa.
Okay, here's what I'll say. I think the Squatty Potty is a great product, and I was going to buy one, but I'm going to wait and see if they sponsor us. Because if they do, I will buy it through the affiliate link and put money in my own pocket. So don't buy a Squatty Potty yet. Don't do it. You want one.
Well, go watch all their
advertisements. I want, but not yet.
I thought this was a parody when you guys first told me about this.
It's a great product is what it is.
I sent the screenshot of the message they sent me to Jason and DJ, I think, and DJ was like, "What does this mean?"
It means we're in the big time, boys. We're not Blue Apron sponsored, but we're not exactly MeUndies sponsored anywhere. We're sort of in the middle.
Anyways, all right, we're running out of time here.
We haven't talked about anything. Did I derail the whole Our guest hasn't talked once.
I have talked.
Eric, what do you want to talk about? We got time right now.
Do you want to plug something, considering you literally paid your way on the podcast by going to patreon.com/Brainstorm Brewery and contributing $40? Did I get the tier right, DJ? Is it $40?
Yes, Jason, you did.
Only $40 a month, and you get to be on the podcast?
3 months.
That's
Eric,
incorrect.
ignore. Just talk over Jason. Interrupt him. What do you want to talk about? What you have? You have a captive audience. You have a Jason who's going to try to be quiet for at least a few minutes. What do you got?
I'm just going to play a game
Well,
on my phone is what I'll do.
I
You
was
have the
going
conch.
to
Go ahead.
start talking, but Corbin's talking, so I got to talk over Corbin. Anyway, I support the podcast because I enjoy what you guys do, what we bring to the community with the show. And I'm in a position where I can afford this to support it. You guys aren't the only Patreon I support. I support quite a few podcasts.
There are others?
There are other podcasts too.
Are they bigger than us?
Yes.
You guys
Everybody
actually get the most money every month, and that was only to see Jason in this wonderful shirt and hair. I'm glad I got to make that happen.
He thought everyone was gonna drop down after we hit the goal. He thought we were.
And they did. That happened.
No, I mean, well, a couple people did, but more people signed
because
up.
people don't know if they go to Brainstorm Brewery.
Patreon/.com.
Make it stop.
You signed your life away at like $600, and we hit $1,300. Now we're at like $11.90, and
it's
you're like,
$11.50. We have more patrons now than we did 2 months ago.
Yeah, because everybody dropped back down to $1 just because the only thing they want is the Discord chat. Because neither one of you two will do something embarrassing.
Look, man, I've told you, sign me up for whatever.
I got to think of it. I thought of this. This was genius. I got to think of all our good ideas.
Jason, this wasn't a good idea.
You are the talent, therefore.
Okay, if we get to $2,000, Corbin will attempt a chin up on camera. That should be pretty funny.
Deal. What's a chin up?
Oh my God! It's when you grab a bar and pull yourself up to chin level. Maybe you've heard it called a pull up? It's called.
Oh yeah, I've been able to do a pull up in like a decade, bro.
Should be really funny. I hope both your arms get torn off and you need surgery.
That's really you came up with. You got put on the spot. You came up with do a pull up.
You know what? I had $1 million idea. I'm not Ron Popeil, okay? I shouldn't have to come up with dozens of really good ideas. Flavortown was inspired. I should be able to retire on that.
Oh, okay.
It's like my Confederacy of Dunces. Like that's my legacy.
All right, you did it. You should be proud.
I am proud.
Tell your children of this one day.
I'm probably not going to have a second child because I look like Guy Fieri and my wife's not into it. Probably just the one kid.
Who were you? There was no way to know, really, though. You had to take a shot. Maybe she would have liked it.
Dude, if you jizz in or on your wife and say, welcome to Flavortown, you're cut off for the rest of the month. You're done. Like it's just no more sexy times. It's just sad times. Just her grabbing her knees and looking out the window.
I hate you. I feel so bad for your wife. Oh my God.
Hey,
she lives with Guy Fieri.
She has dual citizenship with the U.S. and Flavortown. Don't feel bad.
All right, well that's a good point. Good point, Jason.
Why do people listen to this
she's
podcast?
Lucky, really, yeah.
Why do people listen to this podcast? I don't know.
Right,
literally, if you go to patreon.com/Brainstorm Brewery and give us $10 a month, you don't have to listen to the podcast. We'll give you the spreadsheet. You can just see our picks. You'd be like, great, those are good picks. They always fucking nail it with the picks. Good pick of the week. Foil sunburn invocation. You nailed it. And then you don't have to listen to any of this.
That was a good pick of the week, by the way. We talked about that, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah, we sure did. I'm a fucking genius.
Pick of the week. Pick of the week. Pick of the week. Time for the pick of the week.
I've got another stellar one this week.
All right, let's do pick of the week then, Jason. Go ahead.
Foil and non-foil Rishkar's expertise.
What? Ew, why? Gross.
What? Have you resolved a Rishkar's expertise?
No, because I have respect for myself.
Okay. When you
I
play
that card Skullbriar. It's a good card.
Yeah.
Right,
I drew 19 cards off of it like not even 3 hours ago.
6 mana sorcery.
Is that
Draw cards equal the greatest power among creatures you control. Cast a card with converted mana cost 5 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. If you okay, I mean maybe foil. What's the multiplier? Like 1 billion because it's a bulk rare.
It's not a bulk rare. It's
Excuse
like
me.
$2.
No, it's not. It's a bulk rare.
It's a bulk rare, man.
Oh, it's $1.
Cards-
Whatever.
Cards
I'm
less than
still
$1.
buying these cash.
50 cents.
Every time the LGS gets these in stock, I just buy all of them.
I don't. I guess the foil actually has seen some growth from like $3 up to $3.50. So I would suggest the foils if you're going to move on this.
I mean,
It's
the
a brand
foils
new
are
card.
insulated from reprint a little bit too, but I don't know how reprintable this is really. Because it's got like a specific. It's got a specific name and it's got a specific.
Jam it into a commander deck.
mechanic.
It
pretty
could easily be in a commander deck.
I mean, how many times have they given a card named after a dude though?
Teferi's
Urza's
Protection.
Incubator.
Okay, yeah, we did it.
Urza's Incubator.
That's
Yeah, we instantly came up with
stop
two.
giving examples. You. Oh, that's not what I asked for. So
Okay.
whatever. maybe they. But man. Urza's Incubator
Just
didn't have
get the
a
foils,
set
man. The foils are
specific.
$3.
What's that?
If you're gonna do it, just get the foils.
The
They're
foils are
cheap.
3? Yeah, that seems really good. So it's a really good. It's just a dumb card, and foils are harder to reprint. As intellectually lazy as that is, because I would love to give you picks that are a little bit like, hey, there are more than 20 copies for us to fight over on TCG Player. With the tens of thousands of listeners of this podcast, I don't want you fighting over 20 copies, but maybe you buy
Yeah.
the foils. So.
It's from 8th to Revolt. There's tons of them.
Yeah, foils are the only play there. All right, who wants to go next? Eric, you ready?
I can do one.
All right.
Planar Gate for me through Revolt Mythic,
Ooh,
$2
I like that card.
Planar Gate.
Isn't there a masterpiece of this as well, or no?
or Planar
Yeah,
Bridge.
it's like
sorry,
$25. Or,
Yeah,
Planar-
Planar
Planar
Gate I
Bridge.
thought
Planar
was
Bridge.
from like.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
older.
Legends.
No, that's
Yeah.
Planar Portal, I think, right?
Yeah, no,
I think it
Planar
might be
Bridge card.
Portal.
There
I
is
think it
no
might be
card called
Planar
Planar
Portal.
Bridge. Jesus, dude,
Planar-
this is hilarious. From
Planar
Aether...
Bridge.
Is there a
It
card
is
called
Planar
Bridge?
Portal.
No, Planar Portal was like 8th edition.
Yeah, that's the 8th edition one that's a demonic.
Oh, there
cube.
is a card
It
called
is-
Planar Bridge. All right.
It's
Planar
Planar
Bridge.
Bridge, obviously.
Oh, that's just
it-
like the Ring of Wishes, but better.
Yeah, it just puts it right into play. It's, I like it EDH, but if something pops in standard, this thing, it could be another Aetherworks Marvel.
That's true. If we want a 6-mana spell with an 8-mana activation in standard.
Well, with improvise and like if it was some sort of
You can't improvise
sanctuary deck.
the activation cost.
No, that should. But I mean, the sanctuary, inspiring sanctuary, gives you
Statuary.
statuary. Yeah, gives your stuff convoke for artifacts, whatever that ability's called.
It's called Your Artifacts Can Help You Cast Spells.
yeah, that.
Because it says that on the stupid cards. Because
No, I like that pick because it's a mythic. That's the biggest one. What do you think about the masterpiece version of it, though? Do you think that's a better play than
Masterpiece is
regular?
like around $30.
Yeah,
so
it's been falling slowly.
It's that's the card that's going to be found in EDH. But looking at these $2 ones for standard,
Mm-hmm.
you have, if you follow the storyline, and so I'm getting a little bit of story here, but Kaladesh
MTG Ryan.
MTG Rhino
Into-
in the house.
into Amonkhet, into Ixalan, all three of these planes, that planar bridge is going to be needed to tie it all together. And so something in Dominaria is probably going to break it.
Do you think
Just
it'll be dragons? Because we had
okay.
cats and Amonkhet, vampires and Ixalan. Do you think we'll have dragons in Dominaria?
Well, we'll have back to what we used to have when we were in Dominaria. So we had dragons and we had merfolk and we had all these different things.
But they like the Commander 2017 stuff to scale with the recent stuff.
Right. Well, here's a question: aren't slivers in Dominaria?
Slivers were on Dominaria, yes.
Could they still be on Dominaria? Is there some story reason they're not, or?
Was there a story reason that the slivers weren't slivers until like the absolute last second of development, which is why they all look like Cronenberg slivers?
You're talking about the new ones?
The ones from M15 or whatever, yeah.
I mean, I don't know the answer to that question. I'm just asking if slivers are a return in Dominaria because
Man.
Well, like Scourge. Well, Onslaught block was in Dominaria, so that's got slivers in it. So yeah, and then they were
Okay. Okay.
You know, they were on Wrath, and Wrath got overlaid. So
I wouldn't be surprised to see him come back.
How do
since
you
the
know
last
so much fiction? That's what I want to know.
well, I followed it when it was, you know, I followed the story part of it back when I was in it for the beginning of Magic, and so I enjoyed the story side of it. So, but yeah, so minus the gap of that I didn't play, you know, I know the early history of Magic, and I know where we're at right now. So
Perfect. Yeah, it's awesome. Okay, I'll jump in next. I have one that I think it just the very beginnings of movement, and I think it's got a long ways to go, and at least in theory, and it's Meddling Mage.
That's like $12, right?
No,
It's like
it's
7,
six.
right?
It's
Yeah,
six.
6 or
It's
7. Okay.
6 or 7. The Planeshift one is 7. The Alara Reborn one is 6. As much as I hate to say it, the Alara Reborn one's probably the one to buy because it's a modern border, even though you should obviously buy the originals because it's the Bakula art. But it's a 4 of in that deck that just dominated the open, and it's just always a good card, and it's already near its all-time highs. And between Alara Reborn and Planeshift, and there's a Judge promo, but that's not a lot of copies because Alara Reborn was a third set, a small set, in a year
terrible
where
set.
Yeah, it was not a good set.
it was a high power level set with that wasn't fun to play draft in. Yeah,
Well, it was all gold cards.
It was
Right.
Bloodbraid Elf and then a bunch of crap.
and there were lots. I mean, there were lots of powerful cards in that set, but yeah, I mean, Meddling Mage,
Name 7.
Behemoth Sludge,
Agony Warp.
Lavalanche. Name a
Soul
card. Soulquake. Name a card that impacted Nemesis
Soul
of Reason.
Manipulation, Soul
Exactly.
Manipulation,
Yeah, none of it was any good.
Soul Manipulation. That card was sweet.
Nobody played
It,
that.
it was the Raised Dead attached to a counterspell.
Yeah, that
Also-
was Green Limited.
Sovereigns of Lost Alara,
Oh yeah, that card was good.
Yeah, the next block.
Karthus, Tyrant of Jund.
Oh, Karthus.
Get the hell out of here. Go home. You're done.
That stuff's good now, but like at the time, it
What
was
do you
like
mean?
we want
It was
Bloodbraid
great
Elf.
as
Maelstrom Pulse.
Maelstrom Pulse was in the other set.
No, it
Wasn't
wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
Show about that?
Kasali
The
Pride
border-
Mage.
The border posts?
The border. Oh, you're drunk. The border posts.
They were part of a real deck in standard.
Yeah,
What
they
about
were
the Terminate?
pushed.
What about Terminate?
Well, that's a reprint, I guess. But yeah, that counts too.
Yeah, that's true,
We've named
right.
7 now. Alara Reborn, Sovereigns of Lost Alara was the best a Necromancer, Ardent Plea, Architects of Will,
Architects of Will. Shut up. Get out of here.
Bitumitous Blast,
Thopter Foundry.
Oh, Thopter Foundry.
Sin Triplets, Maelstrom Nexus, Lord of Extinction.
You're just going down the price list. You don't know
Time
anything.
Civ. These are all cards. Mind
They are
Funeral,
cards now. That's what I'm trying to tell
I
you.
knew Kasali Pride Mage was a big.
Finest Hour.
Yeah, that was a good one. Finest Hour, kinda. I actually,
Sovereigns of Lost Alara was the best deck. It was the reason that Jace was banned and double extended.
Sovereigns of
card
Lost
that-
Alara was a bulk rare for like a year and a half until the Eldrazi conscription was printed.
Dude, that's only kind of true.
It's true, man. I know Magic's history. I know the lore.
All right, man. The point is that set was insane.
That set was pretty good when you think about it. Yeah, that's a good stuff.
Identity Crisis was very popular in Standard as well as a control cyborg card. Thought Hemorrhage
if
was
you
very
resolved an Identity Crisis against somebody, it's pretty brutal.
Thought
That card's
Hemorrhage was
miserable to play against an EDH.
Oh, wasn't,
oh my god.
Mind
Thought
Funeral?
Hemorrhage was really important as well.
Was Mind Funeral
before
in
they
that
printed
set?
the uncounterable
Yeah,
one.
Mind Funeral was Alara Reborn. Why are we
Nemesis.
spending like 4 minutes on?
Lord of
Just
Extinction was Lord of
Jason
Extinction.
challenged us, man.
Yeah, challenged you
Right,
to name
and then-
7
and
cards
then-
and you named like 8. So
Wall
that's
of
pretty good.
Denial. Yeah.
Oh, gross. I thought Wall
Alright,
of
I'm
Denial
gonna-
was in the set with Plumeveil.
Violent Outburst.
Wall of
the
Denial is not from Lore with
backbone of
Block,
the modern
Jason.
deck.
Wall of Denial is not from Lorwyn Block?
Nope.
Wow.
Oh, Plumeveil was. You're right. Plumeveil
Yeah,
was from.
it.
Whatever.
Anyways, all right. Who's up next?
I'm picking Splinter Twin.
Yeah.
You think it's going to get unbanned, or you think people are going to buy it anyways?
I think people.
Wait, they already announced it,
Don't
right?
peop-
Did it already happen?
They said they weren't going to change anything this one. They probably wouldn't the next one.
Yeah,
they were talking about an unban.
Yeah, they said that there is no reason to ban anything in Modern because they think the format is healthy, but they hinted at a possible unban in February, which is why I think that if you were somebody who loved Splinter Twin and played them a bunch and would get back into Modern if Splinter Twin was legal, I think you throw $15 down and buy a set and then wait 4 months, and if it gets unbanned, you're going to be super happy. If it doesn't get unbanned, and you're just buying them for the dollar profits, then you just sell into the hype because they'll probably hit 7 or 8 or something like that the day before the announcement.
I mean, cyclically, around the announcements, you make money on Bloodbraid Elf and Stoneforge Mystic regardless, right? So
yeah,
it's just another card you want to have copies of when everyone's like, "Ooh!" When someone makes a dumb post in a subreddit like Market Watch, and people's like, "Oh, buy your," it's like, "Oh, well, how much money do you really lose if it doesn't go up?" Which is, you lose shipping and handling basically. So it's actually not terrible logic to them. So I bet you probably make some money on Splinter Twin selling into some hype.
I don't think it'll get unbanned, but
no, I don't either. But if you're somebody who's buying them to play with and you're banking on an unban, even if it's a 5% chance,
buy them to play with in what?
In Modern, I'm saying if you to play, if you're somebody who you used to play Twin and you want to play Twin in the future, if it gets unbanned, you hedge your bets, buy a set. If you're somebody who wants to sell into the hype, you still buy a set and then sell into the hype.
I think Bloodbraid Elf could get unbanned.
I think it has a chance too, but
what about GT?
No.
That would be awesome.
Never. Okay, never. Eric, what do you think anything can get unbanned safely?
Right
Jace,
now, probably not. No, I'm not going to say Jace. That's just absolutely broken card. Bloodbraid Elf would put Jund at the top of the heap and wouldn't even be close. Casting Bloodbraid Elf, getting a Lily out of it is nuts.
Can you imagine getting a Kolaghan's command out of that nowadays?
I mean, I agree.
It's the same thing there.
It seems incredibly powerful to me, but I also died on turn 2 or turn 3 twice in a row to Storm the other day. Jund isn't good.
There's a lot of cards on the Modern ban list that have died for the sins of Grape Shot.
That's true.
Just let them have Empty the Warrens and I don't know.
And unban the rest. And the problem is
and Grape Shot and just leave the rest of the deck alone.
I mean, it prevents them from they're gonna keep banning cards, and it's kind of like the Workshop thing, where they're just banning everything around Workshop, they're just banning everything around Grape Shot.
Well, I mean, for what it's worth, I think the format's better off without Ponder or Preordain.
No, I agree. I'm not saying that you should ban Grape Shot, unban the rest. I'm just saying that I think the time has come to just kill Grape Shot.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know.
You don't know. And if you did know, you would have to sign an NDA, you shill.
I have signed an NDA, but also I don't know. Anyways, okay. Well, all right. Anyone else? Did we miss anybody?
Doesn't know anything.
All right. Anyone else have a pick of the week? Did we get through the table here?
Can we talk about this boulder thing?
This boulder thing.
No. Did something happen in Colorado again?
No, can we talk about the...
Why would we talk about this?
We'll cut the episode off here and then we'll talk about it for an after hours.
Okay,
if you're upset that we're doing an after hours, then you can always just go to patreon.com/brainstormbrewery and contribute to our Patreon.
Well, wait, how much is it, Jason? How much is it?
For the after hours?
Yep.
$10.
Nope, 20.
Fuck, 10? Not 10?
It's 20.
We should make it 10. I bet people would sign up if 10. Tweet at DJ and say that you would become a $10 patron if you could have access to after hours.
Anyways, before we get into whatever this boulder thing is, Eric, thank you for coming on the podcast, man. Is there anything you want to say, plug, where can people find you? Any of that good stuff you want to say before we get out of here?
I'm on Twitter, but I harass you guys every now and then. So you guys
we deserve it, to be fair, but where can people find you on Twitter?
Ungrounded Volts, all one word. I'm an electrician, so it's kind of what I stick with. It's a little bit political and some magic stuff, and other than that, that's pretty much where I'm at there. And if you guys are sitting out there, the people want to find something to do that are not quite sure what they want to do, look at building trades. Any of the building trades, we're struggling trying to find bodies to do jobs, and it's good pay.
That is true. I know that from the people locally.
And well, it's the reason I can give $40 a month for your podcast is because it's good pay. So,
well, we appreciate it. Thank you very much for coming on.
It's really only $8 to $10 an episode.
Yes, Jason.
Yeah, $8 to $10 a week, and that's honestly, it's for me. That's basically what I would get paid taking a dump in one day. So, you guys get my poop money.
Great.
Full circle.
Well, that is pretty.
You put more effort into pooping than we do into the podcast, so. I mean, I'm assuming we get a Squatty Potty. Actually,
exactly.
Yeah. Woo! If this episode's not called Full Circle, I'll be really upset.
Anyway, so there you go, everybody. Squatty Potty.
No, don't say Squatty Potty yet. They haven't given us any money.
Don't buy them. But tweet at them. Tell them that they should sponsor Brainstorm Brewery.
That's good thinking. Good thinking.
Yeah, make it happen. Anyways, everybody, I know we went a little long this week, but I hope it was worth it. I felt like we had a pretty good time.
You hope it was.
Let's go talk about whatever.
You know it wasn't. You know it wasn't worth it.
I want to hear about boulders. Let's go record the after hours. Thank you for listening.
Yeah.